Hello again, everybody. Mr. Stitchio, and welcome back to another ninja class. So, for today's class, the things you will need are, as you can see, I have a couple carpet planks here. If you don't have carpet planks, as usual, you can use the lines of a mat if you have one, or you can make tape lines on the floor, or even if you don't have anything that you can land on, I'll get into that later. Yeah, so even if you don't have anything to land on, it's okay. We can adjust the lesson for it. Okay? So I have two of them here because like I said, I'm gonna be using them to land on, and we're also going to be using them as a placemat. So in addition to the planks, I also have my pipe. You can use a broomstick, a baseball bat, a hockey stick. It just has to be something that you can hold onto. So you can also use a towel, pillowcase, long pair of socks, or if you're like me, if you have a bandana laying around, you can hang on to the bandana. Because again, we're just going to be using it to hold our arms up and tight. So in addition to that, I also have a pit cube and a bean bag because we're going to be using these to help us squeeze our feet together. So if you don't have a bean bag or a pit cube, you can, once again, like I said, use a pair of socks. You can use a small stuffed animal or pretty much anything that you can easily hold with your feet. Okay? But before we get into any of that, we have to warm up. So, warm up exercise. We're going to be doing some pop-ups. So here, if you want to use your plank or if you want to use your place marker, you can. If not, perfectly fine. Again, we're just using this to help ourselves track. So I'm going to put my plank down. Nope. Probably adjust my camera a little bit. Okay, so have my plank down. I'm going to put my hands on it. Stretch out nice and long. So I'm almost in a push-up. So I'm going to look straight ahead, and I'm going to try to throw my feet onto the plank. Okay? So if I do that again, and I do it towards you guys. So hands go down. Everything is tucked in. As I jump in, I try to land on the plank. So these are all pop-ups, helping us with our palms, but also helping us with our balance. So this is like we're jumping up. And balancing on something. You land, step back into your plank, and do it again. Jump. Jump. Okay, so do it at your own pace. So take your time, everyone, because again, this is just a warm-up, and again, we're working on just getting our muscles working. So nice and long, jump in, and balance. So, like I said, you don't have to have a plank, but in my case, I'm using a plank. So then that way, I have something to aim at. So if you want, you could also use your pipe. And instead of landing on it, you can just try to land in front of it. So you can try one like this. Right. Now, let's go into some side planks. So we're going to go into our crouch, so get nice and low. Then we're going to reach to the side. We're going to turn our chest out and straight legs. So if you guys remember from the other lesson, it's like we're doing our 2 steps. So for the other side, stretch out. Okay. So you guys notice I'm lifting up one hand each time I move, each time I go to the side. I'm doing that so one, I know whichever hand I lift up, that's the side I slide out. But also, so I can tone my chest out so I have support. See, if I go like this, I'm gonna fall. So nice and tight. All right, keep it going. So if you can't slide out, you can do it like this too. You can walk. Good time, you guys. This is a balancing exercise as well as a strength exercise. So there's nothing wrong with taking it slow. Sometimes the best way to go fast is to go slow. Okay, a couple more. All right. So how's everybody feeling? Nice and warm? Good. All right. So now let's go into our straddle stretch. Nice and wide. Toes up. Knees facing up. And reach as far as we can. Again, don't let all toes start to fall asleep. Keep them up and awake. If you want, you can try to pull your toes towards you as you're reaching forward to get a little bit extra stretch in the back of your knees and in your hips. Very nice. Now, grab onto one side and reach up and over. Get that nice big stretch in your side. Cool. Now let's switch sides. Now let's pull it into butterfly. So bottom of the feet together, heels pulled in as close to us as we can. And we're gonna push our knees down. Nice. Okay, let's rock side to side a little bit. So again, as we rock to the side, try to push the other side down. All right, now let's go. Straight legs out in front of us. And try to reach for our toes. If you can't reach your toes, then just grab your shins. But we're trying to pull our chest to our knees. So grabbing our toes is just a bonus. Our goal is to get our chest as close to our knees as we can. That way our back extends. In addition to it pulling all the muscles in the back of our legs. Nice. Now, let's point and flex our toes.
Can I tell you something, please?
Yeah, what's up, Kate?
Can I tell you a joke?
Tell me later.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll point and flexing our toes. And then big toe circles. Loosening up our ankles. Because we're going to do some floor walk and we're going to do some jumps. Go the other way. Big toe circles the other way. So we want to make sure our ankles are loose. So when we do our floor walk, when we do our jumps, we don't halt our ankles or our joints, because those are important. Okay, now let's turn it over to our stomachs. Then big press up to our heel stretch.
Heel stretch.
Cool. Now turn our fingers in. So we stretch out our wrists. Alright, now turn our fingers forward. We're gonna pick our toes up, unless you're going into a full push-up, and down and up. So again, we're keeping our heel stretch position, so our stomach's down, we're just dropping our chest up and down. So we should feel our elbows bend. That's the only thing that should move. Everything else stays solid. Good job, you guys. Short out your wrists. And now let's stretch out our neck. So heels to shoulders.
Mom.
Now let's go chin to shoulders. Again, try not to move your shoulders. So if you need to, you can grab the sides of your legs to help keep your shoulders steady. Okay, now let's go down and up. So chin to chest, chin to ceiling, and down and up.
I can do it like this.
Now let's do big circles.
Hi, Dad. Where do you go?
And go the other way. Cool. Now, very last stretch. Let's go into our tummy table or our bridge. I'm gonna do a tummy table. Okay, come down, hug your knees tight, and rock it out.
I love rock and rolls.
Okay, now, the first exercise we're gonna do is we're gonna walk on our precision jumps. So, that's what we need. Our place markers. But even if you don't have your place markers, it's okay. You can just jump in open space. So in my case, I'm just gonna put these down about right here, a couple of feet apart, or just outside of my reach. So if I'm standing on one, I'm stepping out. So it's just outside of my stride. So now, I'm gonna go from one plank and I'm gonna jump to the other. So just like we always do, soft bend in my knees, big swing. As I swing, I'm gonna bring my knees up with it. So when I come down, I cushion it and I stick my landing. That's why it's called a precision. But for landing with precision.
Oh, Mom, I need something to, like, I can't hear all of that.
So remember when you do the precision, you're making an arc with your jump. So you're not just jumping straight. So if you guys remember, think of it like you're shooting a basketball or you're throwing a piece of paper in the trash can. When you do that, you don't throw it straight at the trash can, right? Or you don't throw it straight at the basket. You throw it up, so it comes straight down. Same thing here. So if you look at how I jump one more time, you're gonna see I go way higher than I need to. So that way when I land, all my momentum comes straight down. So all I need to do is cushion my landing and then I can stop. So if you need a little bit of help with that, you can put something in front of you. So in my case, there you go. So in my case, I'm gonna put some pit cubes. So that way, I have to jump over the cubes first. And land on the other side of the plank. Well, you can also use a stuffed animal. You can use a pillow. You can use your water bottle. Just be careful that you don't land on it. which you shouldn't be landing.
Person here, Mom.
Okay. So that's also something else you can do. If this is too easy of an exercise, you can try making them follow a pole, or you can try making what's in the middle a little bit taller. But that's all precision. So now, and let's do all plyo jumps. Okay, so how we're going to do that is just like we did all precision, except this time we're going to add an extra jump to it. So here, in my case, because I don't have a flat object to land on or flat object to jump on, I'm going to use my pipe as a reference point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump in place. When I land, I'm going to absorb it. Then I'm going to immediately jump off. Okay, that's the difference between the plyo and the precision. The plyo, you keep moving or you explosively take off, because plyo is short for plyometric. Okay, plyometric means explosive. So you're going to explosively jump, then you're going to land and try to precision. So you're doing a plyo to a precision. Okay, so if I'm doing it from standing, this is how it looks. So I'm going to do one jump in place. When I land, I immediately jump. Then I land and stay. So if I was doing it this way, so if I was going towards the pipe, I can stand back a little bit. So I'm going to stand right here on the edge of the screen. I'm going to jump to the false plank, fly over to the second plank, then precision on the other side of the pipe, like so. Okay. All right. Go ahead and give that a try, you guys, if you haven't already started. Okay. So remember, when you jump, try to jump with both feet. So try not to let your feet come apart as you jump. And remember, just like the precision, bend your knees, big swing, lift those feet up, get as much air as you can. So as you come down, it's easy for you to spring back up. Nice job, you guys. So, don't really worry too much about the distance of them, because I can see some of our friends are trying to make all of them the same distance. They don't have to be the same distance. If you're having trouble with the plyo, you can make them a little bit closer, or if you know that you can, jump a lot further, you can make one plank further than the other. Because especially if you're doing the plyo, you're building up momentum as you go. So if your precision jump is a little bit further than the plyos, that's good. That means you're also working variables. Okay, so those of you guys that haven't heard that word in math yet, a variable is something that can change. So like this. So when we're jumping, the variables are obviously the distance between them, the height, and also the angle. Because sometimes when we jump on things, they won't always be in a straight line, right? Sometimes it's going to be a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right, or like I said, it can change levels. All right, so go ahead and stop right there, everyone. Nice plyos and precisions out of everybody. So now the last jump I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you do a stride or a ghost step, okay? So they're almost the same thing, okay? So listen closely first so you can feel what the difference is, and then I'll show you. So same thing we're doing here. I'm gonna use my planks and my pole, but here what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna step on one plank, I'm gonna step on the other, then I'm gonna take a big jump to land behind the pole. So I'm actually gonna get my cubes out of the way. Because here, on this one, you can go a little bit straight. The reason why is, like I said, since I'm doing this with 1 foot at a time, I can go a little bit straight. I don't have to worry about jumping up too much. Which, if you guys remember a while ago when I was talking about the precision, I said a good place to stall in terms of distance is just outside your stride. So see, if I was to step out right now, this is right at where I step out. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this one because, much like the plyo, I'm going to be building up momentum. So I'm going to purposefully make my precision jump a little bit further away. So put this here so you guys can see where my pole is. So as you can see, it's a little bit further away. So as I run up, 1 foot's going to go on one plank, another foot's going to go on the other plank, and my loose foot's going to do a big takeoff, and I'm going to land behind the pole, like so. Okay, so as you saw, I did a little run, and then I did a big jump. Okay, so I'll show you that one more time. 1, 2, and I took off and tried to land and stop. Which, if you don't have enough space, this is what I was talking about with the ghost step, okay? So those of you guys that have enough space, or you want to try doing the strides already, go ahead. Those of you guys that don't quite have enough space, or you don't have enough things to jump on or over, here's what you can do. So in this case, say I only have one plank, only have enough space to jump from, say, one side of the screen to the other. So I only have this much space, and I only have these 2 objects. What I can do is, I can stand up on 1 foot, I can hop on that 1 foot, and as soon as that foot lands, then I can kick through and then land, okay? So I'll show you that really quick. So like I said, I'm gonna hop on 1 foot. After I land, I'm gonna kick through and then try to land. Like so. Hop, land, kick, land. Okay? So I'll show you that one more time. Okay? So right now my right foot's on the ground, my left foot's in the air. I'm going to hop on my right foot. As my right foot comes down, I'm gonna load my left foot up behind me so I can kick through and then throw me to the next plank. Like so. Okay, so that's a ghost step. Very similar to a stride, except like you saw, the ghost step, you use 1 foot. Okay? So if I was to ghost step the entire thing, so go ahead, you guys, I'm just gonna keep talking. So, so if I did my ghost step the same way I did my strides, so if I did my ghost step the same way I did my strides, I would go same foot, then 2 foot, 2 feet. So they'll look like this. 1, 1, 2. Okay, that's why it's called a ghost step, because if I was doing a stride, I'd be switching my feet. I'd be going left, right, ghost step. I'm stepping with the same foot because the other foot is a ghost. You don't see it. Okay, that's why it's called a ghost step. Okay. So, so I'm seeing a lot of, oh good, I'm seeing a lot of variation. I'm seeing a lot of variables. So some of our friends are jumping, so some of our friends are adding a big jump for the precision. I see some of our friends are making it a little bit crooked in places. And then some of our friends are adding extra landings. I like that. Good job, you guys. Good creativity. That's one of the things I love about Ninja. Or pole hold. That everybody can do their own thing. So, hold on real quick, you guys. Catch your breath for a second while I give you guys this small tip. So, something I'm noticing a couple of our friends are doing, which is perfectly fine. I know you guys are really thinking about what you're doing, because I'm seeing some of our friends doing this. Okay, did you guys see what happened now? Okay, I'll do it one more time. Let me see if anybody can see what happened. So anybody notice anything? That's all right. I didn't use my arms. Okay. So in this case, it's small, so it's easy for me to just step across and do a small hop. But if it was bigger, I need my arms to one, help me carry my momentum, but also, in addition to momentum, it's also helping me control my weight. Because just like the precisions, just like the plyos, just like the strides, our arms and our feet are coordinating, or they're working together. Because if my arms are going back and my legs going forward, it's gonna pull me back. Same thing, if my arms are going forward and my legs behind me, it's gonna make me stretch out and my legs are gonna go further away from me. Okay, so try to make it so that your arms and your legs move at the same time. So the way you think of it like you're whacking your foot in front of you. Very nice, everyone. Good. See, it looks a lot better now that everyone's using the arms. Especially if we're going up. Because it's going to help us pull our legs up also. Because yeah, we could just jump and lift our legs up, but using our arms is going to help everything stay nice and tight, and it's going to help us lift our knees up, which is actually going to be the next thing we're going to get into. So go ahead and do a couple more, you guys. And then we're going to do a conditioning exercise that's going to work our core, but it's also going to help us with shapes. Okay, so go ahead and do a couple more. All right, so go ahead and catch your breath, everyone. If you need to take a water break, go ahead, but stay within earshot because I'm going to explain what we're going to do next. So for this next one, like I said, we're going to do some core exercises. So here's where you need your boomstick, your baseball bat, your pipe, and the object that you're going to hold between your feet. Because what you're going to do is, my friends that have been doing the class know I love my hollow body poses. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So in this case, I'm going to take my pit cube, and I'll also use my beanbag. But I'm going to lay down. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to hold on to my pipe. I'm going to put the cube between my feet. I'm going to lift my arms up. So see, I'm holding the pipe above my head. I'm holding my cube out in front of me. What I'm going to try to do is, I'm going to try to lift my shoulders. As I lift my shoulders, I'm going to bend my knees. And then try to touch the cube. I'll try to bring the pole towards my toes. Then I'm going to lay back down, but I'm not going to lay completely flat. My goal here is to try to keep my shoulders and my heels off the ground. So now I have it up high, so it's easy for me to pull myself up. If you want to make this harder, you can try to keep your toes as close to the ground as you can without touching. So I know it's kind of hard to see because the blocks didn't cause the culprit, so that's why I have the beanbag. But the beanbag has some weight to it also. So it's going to make it a little bit more difficult also, because I have to support the beanbag with my core. So as you guys can see, my feet are off the floor. So as I lift up and I bring it back down, I have to really control it to keep it from hitting the ground. Okay? All right. So go ahead and give that a shot, everyone. Which one small note I forgot to mention, if you're doing this on wood floor or tile, or even if you have a mat, it might help if you put another mat or you put a pillow underneath you, because you're going to be putting a lot of weight on the middle of your back or on your tailbone. So that's really going to help alleviate the pressure. Or in this case, I'm going to put a mat down, and I'm also going to put a pillow down. So then that way, it's going to help me lift my hips up a little bit. Again, heel, nice and stretched out. I'm going to lift up, balance it as much as I can, then straight back up, all toes up. Okay, so you can tuck it, or you can pike it. So pike, the straight legs, tuck, knees in. Okay, so completely up to you. So if this is making your tummy sizzle a little bit, that's good. That's exactly what you want. That means just like when you're doing any other exercise, when you do a lot of curls, it makes your arms bone. When you do a lot of pull-ups or when you do a lot of swings, how it makes your hands bone. Same thing here, because that boning is your muscles saying, oh, this is too much. We're not used to this. So that's why we do it. So then that way our muscles get used to holding ourselves up and helping us hold that pose or that shape. Because the shapes that we're making almost fell. The shapes we're making here, all as well uphill, as well tucking. It's like we're throwing ourselves into a front tuck, or if I pike, it's like I'm going into a front pike, or it's like I'm throwing myself through a window, or it's like I'm swinging on a ball. Okay? Right. So, go ahead and give that a couple more tries, which I can see a couple of my friends are having trouble balancing. That's perfectly fine, because like I said, this requires a lot of core strength. So if you don't have enough core strength, that's perfectly fine. Mr. Stitch had trouble with this at first too, because his body wasn't used to it. So what you can do instead is, instead of lifting your shoulders, you can also just lift your legs. So lay back, stretch out, then lift your knees in. So as you see, as I lift my knees in, I'm lifting my hips up, then bring it back down to straight. Or you can all bring it back down to straight. But make sure you keep your arms tight. The reason why is, you guys probably saw right though, as I pulled my arms in, you saw my legs drop at the same time too. Because, like I said, see, if I drop my arms, it's actually relieving, or it's actually making my tummy loose. So it's harder for my legs to get held up. Versus if my arms are straight, see, everything lines up, and it makes it a lot easier for my core to hold my feet up. Okay? You can do it that way. Which, if it's too easy just to tuck, but it's too hard to do the shoulder lift, you can go on straight, tuck in, then push up, then tuck back in, then up. Tuck in, push up, tuck in, push out. Okay, so you're doing a bit of a V shape. So you're pulling it down the V, and you're pushing it up the V. So So go ahead and keep going, you guys. So for this one we're working the shape for our back tucks or back flips. So, whereas the shoulder lifts, that was helping us throw ourselves into our tuck. This one is helping us pull ourselves into a tuck. Okay, so that's the difference between these two exercises and the difference between the two motions. So one, it was helping you throw into the tuck, whereas this one, it's helping you pull into the tuck. Okay. So even though you guys can't do flips yet, this is gonna help you. So then when you do them, your body already recognizes the motion and you have the strength for it. And even if you're not flipping, this also helps you with your rolls. So if you're doing a forward roll, this is going to help you stretch out and pull yourself into a ball. And same thing with the backward roll. It's going to help you lean back, lift your hips up, and pull your legs over you. Okay? So that's why I like these exercises, because these are probably the best way to learn and gain the strength for flips without actually doing flips. All right, so go ahead, you guys. Do a couple more. Nice shape. Good, so remember to take your time, you guys. If anything, with this one, the slower you go, the better it is. Because you have to have more control and you have to use more and more of the small muscles to stabilize yourself. That's why sometimes just holding something is harder than picking it up or pushing it away. Because when you pick something up or when you push it away, you're using all the big muscles. So when you pick something up, you're using all your own muscles or you're using your legs. Versus if you're just holding it up, because it's already there, the big muscles already did the work. So now the small ones have to help it hold it up. That's why sometimes it's harder. So that's why I'm saying with these exercises, going slower is a lot better than going fast. All right. Good job, everybody. Go ahead and come on down. If you need to rub your tummy out, go ahead. If you want to do a seal stretch, that's a really good stretch to stretch out your core. Go ahead and do a couple trunk twists. Shake everything out. Because we are almost done. I know, right? Seems like we just started. Right, so now that the area is nice and cleared out, let's do some cooldown stretching. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do a rocking lunge. So just like so, I'm on my knee. I'm going to take a big step out. So that way, my back knee and my front knee are as far apart as I can get them. Or I can see my toes in front of my knee. So if I can't see my toes in front of my knee, that means that they're too far in. So I'm going to scoot them out a little bit so I can see them. So here, I'm going to push as far forward as I can without moving my back knee. So I'm going to push forward so I get that stretch in the back of my legs. Then I'm going to push myself back and straighten my front leg. Try to get as close to my knee as I can. And then that's going to stretch the other side of my head. Then push forward again, and then straight. Okay. So go ahead, everybody, get into your lunge. So big step out. Make sure you're nice and stable. So if you need to, you can put your hand down. But in my case, because I have such a wide base, so as you guys can see, because my foot and my knee are so wide, I can hold myself up like this. So from here, push forward, push back, push forward, push back. Good. Going. So push, push, push until you get all the way as far as you can. Then push it back. Forward. And then repeat. Okay, so good timing for this is breathe in, breathe out, then push it back, then and breathe out. So that way you give yourself enough time to really get into the stretch. Okay, now let's switch legs. So now the other side. So big step out, push forward, and push back. Push forward, and push back. Push forward, and push back. Nice job, you guys. Okay, now let's stand up. Feet about hip width apart, or about pocket width apart. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to reach straight down and reach as far behind us as we can. So as you guys can see, I'm reaching through my legs. Just letting my chest in. Also, make sure you don't go up on your tippy toes. Push your heels down so that way you get that nice deep stretch all the way up your legs and up your back. Cool. So now while we're hanging here, let's go ahead and just sway side to side. This is going to loosen up our hips, our back, and our arms. So if you walk over that today, it might be a little bit tight from everything we did. So that's why we loosen it back up. So if you're like me, if your hands are hitting the ground, you can tie your arms. And that also helps you get a little bit deeper stretch. All right, up on your feet, shake everything out. And we are done for tonight. Nice work, everybody. Again, I'm really impressed with how much you guys have learned over the past couple months, over the past close to a year now at this point. But also, I'm liking how much creativity everybody has. So I'm showing you guys something, and then you guys are taking your own, you guys are adding your own twist to it. I like that a lot, okay? But like I said, that's all I have for you guys tonight. So remember to drink a lot of water. If you need to stretch out some more, you can never stretch too much, okay? All right, good night, everyone.
Now can I tell you my joke?